Hello radiographers, welcome to a new video tutorial and it's about MRI of whole body. So let's start MRI whole body tutorial. For this MRI whole body, I have done this on a Siemens Magnetom Era 1.5 Tesla MRI machine and the software is version D12. So for this whole body MRI, I have used head neck coil and then body coil and then large flexible coil and then small flexible coil and of course the spine coil that is on the table. So at first the whole body localizer is running. You can see that head neck localizer and thorax localizer have been scanned. And another thing is that position the patient, the laser center the laser light over the chin of the patient and it will give you the first head neck image, and then gradually it will table move inside and it will scan to the lower leg. So the technique for whole body MRI is that all the parts will be scanned separately and then the protocols will be composed together to make a whole body image. So you can see that the localizers are scanning part by part and now the pelvis localizer is running. So every before starting every localizer table moves to the center, the anatomy area move to the center of the iso center of the gantry. So now the pelvis localizer is running. So Siemens use inline composing technique to make whole spine images. So now the upper leg localizer is running and it will be from the mid thigh to the mid leg. Now the lower leg localizer is preparing to be scanned. So the center of the lower leg is in the ISO center of the machine. And now the feet localizer is running. So you can see that in the leg area there is noise because the coil didn't properly cover the area. And this is the foot area also. You can see that noise comes because there was no coil over the foot except the spine coil in the table. So I used my maximum available coil for this whole body. So if you have the peripheral coil, it will be good for whole body. Now I am planning for T2 team coronal, head neck T2 team coronal have been running, and now I am planning for thorax. And for thorax there is a trigger navigator, respiratory navigator. You have to set this respiratory navigator to the dome of the liver. So half of the navigator will be over the dome of the liver and lower half of the will be in the lower part of the dome of the liver. So every thorax and abdomen scan protocols have this respiratory navigator so that the machine can scan according to the respiratory rhythm of the patient. so that the machine can track the respiratory movement of the patient. So now I am planning for abdomen, pelvis, T2 team coronal. So the first whole body image I will get is the T2 team coronal whole body that I am planning right now. And now I am planning for the upper leg or thigh. So make sure you don't move the field of view or planning block too much, and try to plan the parallel with the body. All the all the slice should be parallel to the body alignment. And now I am planning, checking the pelvic area, and again planning the upper leg. So you have to keep in mind that the every positioning block or field of view should be overlapped with the previous field of view. That means I am now planning lower leg, so I have to make sure that the lower leg field of view is overlapped with the upper leg field of view, so that machine can compose them together and there is no gap between the scan. So here I am doing one thing, that I will delete the feet protocol because there is no coil over the feet, and I will make the lower leg protocol to the last step for composing. For this I am going to inline, and from the composing I will select it as a last step, so that software can understand that this is the last step of this group, and after this sequence machine software will make a whole spine image of T2 team coronal. So now I am planning for T2 coronal. I'm planning for T2 coronal head neck, and then the thorax coronal, and it's a triggered sequence. So respiratory trigger or navigator should be set over the dome of the liver. So you need to place respiratory navigator for thorax and abdomen, as you do like MRCP and chest MRI. So machine can track the respiratory rhythm of the patient. And now I am planning for the pelvic T2 coronal. So all the parts will be scanned separately, and then they will compose together to make a whole spine image. And now I am planning for upper leg, and now I am planning for lower leg. So make sure that all the protocols have the same number of slices and same thickness and same distance factor. Otherwise the whole spine will not be composed. And I will delete the feet protocol and then select the lower leg as the last step from the composing. So machine will understand, software will understand that this is the last step, and after completing this step software will make a whole body T2 coronal. And now I am planning for T1 coronal whole body protocols. For this again I will plan from the head and neck. You can see that the slice number is 25 and the slice thickness is 6 and distance factor is 20. So you can adjust the field of view, but the protocols should be overlapped. The consecutive protocols should be overlapped by the field of view, so there is no gap between the consecutive sequences. So I moved the plan backward a little bit so that it lies over the anatomy. And now I'm planning for the lower leg, and from the inline I will make sure that is the last step of the composing and click apply. And now the diffusion. And now the diffusion protocols will be planned, and there is a technique to plan the diffusion, and a diffusion actually is a transverse slice. So starting from the head, and the slice number is 60, slice thickness is 5, and then click apply, and then click scan again, and then another diffusion will open, and from the protocol select stack minus, and then another stack will be placed below, and like this scan, click the scan, and another diffusion will open, and then click stack minus, so the positioning block will go down. So by doing this, you can scan diffusion protocol from head to foot by using stack minus. The field of view goes below just after the last slice, and I will add another diffusion. So I think that's it. I will take diffusion to knee joint, and there is also holy spine, and I am deleting all the holy spine, and there's also brain protocols. So for this video tutorial, I only scan the whole body part. The first scan was the localizer's whole body, and then the T2 team coronal, and then T2 coronal, and then T1 coronal, and the last are the diffusion. So I have planned 5 diffusion protocol from the head to upper leg. For this, I am showing you again that I start from the head, and then click this scan, repeat scan, and then another protocol open, and then I click stack minus, and this positioning block goes down, and again click scan, and then another diffusion sequence open, and then again from the QE I click stack minus, and this positioning block again go down, and then click apply. So thus you can plan diffusion from head to lower leg. You can see that the respiratory navigator showing on the window, that machine is scanning the abdomen part according to the respiratory rhythm of the patient. So let's check the images. So this is the first team coronal, head and neck, and now the abdomen is scanning. So this is the chest area, chest and upper abdomen area, coronal, T2 team coronal. So right now the abdomen T2 team coronal scan is running. So I will wait for the scan to be complete. And this is the localizer whole body. You can see that sagittal whole body localizer and coronal whole body localizer on the segments. So in the protocol list there was feed, but I delayed the feed because I I could not cover the feed by the coil, but I only planned to the lower leg and use the last step from the composing. So this is the main technique to make a whole body or whole spine. So you have to make sure that the last step is picked to make compose image like whole spine and whole body. So in this software, machine automatic compose the protocols, but in previous software there is another application, composing application, where you can compose manually. So whole body MRI takes time to complete, and there are lots of sequence to be scanned, and each diffusion sequence is 4 minutes and 41 seconds. So all the diffusion sequence in total will take more than 20 to 25 minutes. So now T2 team lower leg is scanning. So my all T2 team coronal scans have been done, and you will see a whole body image that machine composed automatically. This is actually T1 coronal, and T1 coronal also have been scanned just now. You can see that the beautiful whole body image. And for printing, select the series and send it to the filming. And now select the folder, patient folder, and change the layout of the film. And in this case I will use 5:3 and delete some image from the front and from the back. So 41 coronal whole body I will keep 2 film, and the layout is 5:3, so that 15 whole body image will fit in each film. You can see that the whole body, this whole body MRI that I have scanned is from here to the lower leg. I have excluded the foot because of I can't use any coil over the foot. So I have printed 2 film for whole body coronal, T1 coronal. You can see that this is the whole body T1 coronal that I am checking. And now I am printing the T1 coronal whole body and change the layout to 5:3. So this is the filming part of the whole body. All the coronal T2 team coronal, T2 coronal, and T1 coronal will be printed like this. But you can change the layout as the demand of your radiologist and how he or she wants to see the films. And I remove the reference image from the segments, and now the diffusion scan is running. Diffusion scan Now diffusion scan have been finished, and I will show you the printing system for diffusion. I will move out the patient as the scan has completed and closing the patient. And for diffusion you have to select the from the patient browser and select all the trace diffusion. So select all the trace diffusion from head to neck and to the last diffusion and drag them to the 3D. Drag them to the 3D and select 900 B900, and it will load on the 3D and make a whole spine. But you can see that this is inverted diffusion. So but at first you have to make the coronal images from the 3D, and for this you have to plan on the plan on the axial images and make 30 diffusion coronal images first. Drag the slice to the anteriorly and posteriorly, and then click start and then save it. And now open this saved diffusion protocols. This is ampere, saved as ampere range, and open this, and you can see that this is the diffusion, and then this is actually a inverted diffusion. So you have to change this type of image and use the image and click invert. Now it will change to the original diffusion image, and adjust the window so it looks like the original real diffusion image instead of inverted diffusion, and print it. So you have to change the contrast and select the series and send it to the filming and film as before. Change the layout to 5:3 and print 30 images in 2 film and zoom the images, diffusion images, and slightly darken the image and remove all the reference images from the segments. So that's the whole body technique. So hope you enjoyed this video. So if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you.